You know that feeling, right? You've built something for the web, you run your tests, and they fail. For no reason. Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on Playwright. It's a tool that's making a huge promise to make our web tests not just powerful, but finally, reliable. All right, so here's our game plan for today. First, we'll talk about the flake factor. What makes tests so unreliable? Then we'll see how Playwright offers a fresh approach. After that, we'll get our hands dirty with a project setup, run a test, and then, the fun part, we'll check out all the cool tooling. Okay, let's just get right to it. Why are web tests so incredibly unreliable? It's a question that honestly drives so many of us crazy. You spend hours, right, debugging something that isn't even broken, all because a test decided to fail randomly. It's maddening. Yeah, this whole problem, it's so common it actually has a name. We call it the flake factor. So what is a flaky test? I mean, it's pretty much what it sounds like, right? It's a test that passes 1 minute and fails the next, even when you haven't changed a single line of code. And the main reason for this chaos? Arbitrary waits. Think about it. The modern web is alive. Things are constantly loading, popping up, animating, and our poor tests are just sitting there, guessing. They're trying to guess when an element is ready to be clicked, if the network hiccups or an animation is a tiny bit slow, boom, test failed. Okay, so enough about the problem. Let's talk about the solution. This is where Playwright comes in. It's a totally new approach, built from the ground up by Microsoft, and it was designed specifically to handle the messy, dynamic reality of the modern web.
And the first thing you'll notice is just how versatile this thing is. It's built on this idea of any browser, any platform, one API. What does that mean? It means you write your test once, and it runs on Chromium, which is Chrome and Edge, WebKit, which powers Safari, and Firefox. It doesn't matter if you're on Windows, Linux, or a Mac. And get this, you can write your tests in TypeScript, Python, .NET, or Java. It even does native mobile emulation. It's a lot.
But here's the real magic. This is the core solution to that flakiness problem we talked about. Playwright is resilient because it doesn't guess. It has these incredible auto waits built right in. Its checks, or assertions, will literally just keep trying until things are ready. And if a test still manages to fail, you get built-in tracing, video recordings, and screenshots. No more mystery failures. Let's zoom in on this auto-wait idea, because honestly, it's the secret sauce. Before Playwright even thinks about clicking a button, it automatically waits. It waits for that button to actually be on the screen, to stop moving around, and to not have some annoying pop-up covering it. This one single feature, it just wipes out the main cause of flaky tests. So you can say goodbye to littering your code with Sleep 500 and just crossing your fingers. The architecture behind it is super smart too. For every single test, it runs out of process. It creates what's called a browser context. Just think of it like opening a brand new, perfectly clean, incognito window for each test. This means total isolation. No test can mess up another one, and it makes them run incredibly fast. It's the best of both worlds, speed and real-world accuracy. All right, so you're probably thinking, this sounds great, but is it hard to set up? Well, let's find out. We're going to walk through your first project setup, and you'll see it's actually just 3 simple steps. Okay, first things first, what do you need? Not much, really. Just make sure you have Node.js installed on your machine. You'll need a code editor, like VS Code, and just some basic JavaScript knowledge. Seriously, that's the entire list. So here are the steps. Number 1, you just run npm init-y. That just gives you a standard project file. But step 2, this is the magic command. npm init playwright at latest. When you run this, it launches this really friendly installer that asks you a few questions, downloads all the browsers you need, and sets up your entire project structure for you. It does all the heavy lifting. And once that's done, you'll have a few new things in your project. You'll see a tests folder, pretty obvious, that's where your tests live. There's a playwright config.js file, which is your main control panel for everything. And then you have your standard package.json and node modules, which just handle all the behind-the-scenes stuff. Okay, setup is done. Now for the fun part, running our very first test. And the best part is, you don't even have to write one yet. The installer creates a perfect little example for you, so you can see Playwright in action immediately. And just look at the code it gives you. It's so clean and readable, isn't it? All this does is it tells the test to go to example.com, and then it expects the page to have a title that includes the word example. It's simple, it's clear, and it's incredibly powerful. So, How do you run it? It's just one command. You pop open your terminal and type npx playwright test. That's it. Playwright just takes over. It finds your test files, it fires up all the browsers you've configured, which by default is Chrome, Firefox, and Safari, and it just runs everything, giving you a nice summary right there. But wait, it gets even cooler. After the run is finished, you can type npx playwright show report, and this opens up this gorgeous, fully interactive HTML report right in your browser. You can click into every test, see every step, see exactly how long things took. It's a way better way to see what's going on. Okay, so running tests is one thing, but we all know that writing and debugging them, that's where the real work is. And this is where Playwright goes from being a great tool to being an absolute game changer. The tooling it comes with, it's like getting a set of testing superpowers. So let's break down these superpowers. First, you have Codegen. This thing is amazing. You just click around your website like a normal user, and it writes the test script for you in whatever language you want. Then there's the inspector, which lets you pause your test at any point, step through it line by line, and really poke around. And finally, the trace viewer. This is basically a time machine for your failed tests. It gives you a full video recording, network logs, DOM snapshots, everything you need to know exactly why it failed. You know, for the longest time, it felt like you had to make a choice. You could have a testing tool that was easy and simple, or one that was powerful and reliable, but never both. And that's the real takeaway here. Playwright proves that's a false choice. You don't have to compromise. It brings power and simplicity together. And honestly, it makes solid web testing something that anyone can do. And that really does change everything, doesn't it? It takes away one of the biggest headaches in web development. It gives you the confidence to ship your code faster and with fewer bugs. So that leaves me with one final question for you. If testing stops being a chore and actually becomes this easy, what will you build next?